Okay, so today is sort of a benchmark day for me where I'm sort of officially introducing, although I've done it countless times before, but it's like a fixed day. The Permadeath Hero Gauntlet or Champion Gauntlet, whatever you want to call it, where you go through every single character in the game. It could be in any multiplayer game. I did it in Overwatch before. You can do it in League, so I'm doing it in this where I go every character in order until I lose, and then when I lose on all of them, the series is over, which of course, or if, because it won't even happen. But basically, the fact of the matter is that I did like sort of a short session of this, so I did that to sort of introduce it. So that's normally what my Saturday format is, but now I'm going to combine them. Saturday, I usually play 2 games that I've never played before. So like a couple weeks ago, I did this. I can't remember exactly when, but I did it kind of short, and it was not a particularly great session. So I did like the DPS characters. So basically, hopefully they don't change them, like what's free a particular week. But I went with the damage ones, and so oh, they're different now, huh? But whatever. We won like 1 game on one of them. We didn't win any on the other one. And then the third one was like the Genji guy who was supposed to be, oh yeah, we still get to play him. Yeah, they even deleted them. Bomb King, I won like 1 or 2. And then the Pharaoh wannabe guy, who I even forgot what he was. It was like a raptor or something. We basically stuck to the damage. Yeah, oh, it was this dinosaur. We didn't win like a single one here. Greedy. And so now we'll start with him and then go through all the damage ones. It does like maybe some free weekly thing. So the point was that I was planning to do this on Friday after my hard mode series, like sort of whatever, multiplayer Permadeath Gauntlet could be with any game. And so the series kind of dictate themselves as far as their length. It could be super crazy, like an awesome win streak. I used to do that like in NBA 2K, like you play as every team in online quick match until you lose, and then you move on to the next one. And then again, when all of them are gone, the series is over. Yeah, I didn't really play too many of them, of course. That's just, it wasn't because the episode was short. It was just because I went on such a crazy long streak with them. But it leads to all these sort of storylines. Like, wow, we had the epic comeback game that was the 25th win in a row. So if I didn't have that, it would have been over. And then I can't play again for at least 6 months or whatever. So the series is going to be what it is. Yeah, we'll start with him, the man of the hour. I do like his shot better than Genji's. We're going to have a lot of Overwatch comparison. It's sort of a little smoother, maybe a wider hitbox, or at least it looks more intuitive. And then beyond that, we have a case where, yeah, so every Saturday now, instead of doing 2 games I haven't played before, I'll do 1 game I haven't played before. And again, that's how I introduced it. Just like, and it was still part of the Permadeath Gauntlet at the time, but just playing it for the first time to try it. And then later on, it opens the door for making a little mini series. I did that with Dead by Daylight. We have like 100 games that I could do that with now. So that's the whole beauty of it. And it feels like a shame not to do that. That's why I kind of rushed it. I was like, okay, I'll wait till PvZ Hero ends. But I'm doing that more like a normal series. Like I would just do it whatever. So Friday will just be some sort of mystery multiplayer game series like that. Just any random thing that I want to keep going as a long series. Of course, these will be long too. But Saturday will be specifically the Permadeath one. And this is a format that's sort of emblematic of my whole style of doing things. Like everything is Permadeath in real life, in a fun sense. Like, oh, you have to skip a meal or you have to do something if you don't do some work objective or get a project done or do something well. Like you always have some sort of punishment or something to work towards. It's a good psychological motivation. After the objective, push the payload. I was doing this mode, or I think I was just doing all of them, so it doesn't matter. So we're going to play as that guy. Specifically, if somebody takes it, I have to quit out. Because you might say, oh, you could play as any other one that you haven't played yet, but I'm going to try to keep a streak going super long. And what people might say with this always is team-based. So you could play like garbage but get carried to a win. You could play amazing but still lose because your team sucks, right? So no matter what, somebody's unhappy and blaming each other. But the reality is that you should have to deal with that. You should be able to carry the team. If something goes wrong, then so be it. But especially at this low level, like I can't even say, oh, I'm not that experienced with this game or I'm not that good with this genre of games. It doesn't matter because you're playing a garbage, unranked, whatever, like... I don't know actually how you even do ranked games. I guess I don't have it unlocked yet. Or that was what was hilarious. Like I think I failed Overwatch's challenge of the same thing. I obviously didn't unlock every hero and stuff, but I also didn't
Payload. Select your champion.
I don't know if it saved those settings because I uninstalled it or whatever. So what is the guy I'm looking for? This guy. Yeah, he's going to be basically like the Genji equivalent. You're throwing the stuff. He's a melee character, you see, who actually throws shurikens most of the time in infinite supply. it always would confuse me at first, like, oh, how come they have infinite ammo? But the only reason why they do it is so you can't spam completely degenerately, but it almost seems pointless. Right, like ammo is such a moot point in a lot of these games that you don't even have to collect it. It's not, you're never really going to run out, so what a weird technological limitation. You live in a world where ammo is infinite, but you still have to reload. Like, what a weird problem to have. Just get an infinite size clip and then have your infinite ammo fit in there too, just like magic. And in this case, you're not even reloading anything. You're just literally fucking throwing a shuriken. So how does that even make sense? Let's see all these ranked players, 0-0. So I'm actually higher ranked than some of them. I don't know how many. Whenever I see a game like this, I think it's a dedicated following that plays the game. Doesn't mean it's dead or it doesn't mean it's bad. But it seems unlikely that this game would be getting a constant influx of new players who've never played it before, like me. I just don't think that's. You can't even do that. Heavy blade now explodes on reactivation. Initial throw damage is reduced. I don't know what's going on. Oh yeah, the mounts are a little bit cool, kind of contrast to everything. Yeah, this game is pretty good. So let's try to redeem my Overwatch failures with doing a little better here. Which I can't say based on the first episode I was doing particularly well. It was just kind of short, so gives the illusion of that, like, oh, I lasted 10 episodes, but they're only an hour each, and I, you know, there's so many heroes to choose from. Or in a way, I can abuse the ones you get for free, because you have to live off the ones that you're going to unlock from whatever you earn. So even in League, that would be hard. Like, oh, there's over 200 heroes, but it doesn't matter that there's so many, because you're not going to get all of them anyway. Yeah, I feel like it's much clearer to try to hit with this. Not that my aim is very good, but it's a much straighter sort of shot. Okay. Gonna back myself into a corner. I'm just happy to see me. So I actually kind of forgot my abilities a little bit. Right click is kind of the stronger throw. Left click is the weaker throw. And then purchase items should be automatic. I'm pretty sure. I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, why even bother putting that system in the game then? So we can't lose. I'm already playing kind of stupid and lax. Reduced healing. I don't know exactly all the flank points. You know, I'm low on health, so even if I'm playing badly and I'm not a priority target for heals, maybe somebody should heal me, or maybe I can't even tell sometimes if it's happening automatically. Or the fact that it ricochets off means I'll hit more because of that than actually normal. I'm not saying my aim... Oh my god. You step out for a second and just get one shot. So I forget what my other abilities are. Like the shift click is like a sword, sword slash or dash or whatever, and then... That Bomb King was actually pretty awesome because all this stuff is AoE, so it makes you feel like even somebody as bad at aiming as me is gonna benefit from that. Mercy wannabe over here. Oh my god. I can't even... Okay. I went too far, so are we already gonna lose? But you always get a second chance. Or that's one of the most peculiar things about Team Fortress 2. Like they could deliver the payload, then you get a chance to return it back, right? So you both win, but then whoever won first wins, or whoever won last wins, or something like that. I don't think I had much occasion to use my ult, really. That's just like a jump. I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay. I mean, seems like I die a little bit too quick. I don't know what is the other ability. And yeah, I go in blind too. I guess that's maybe why the Overwatch one isn't so bad. Not that I'll try to justify it. I thought I'd do much better. At least unlocked ranked mode, unlock, you know, all the heroes. The reality is that basically, it's not like, oh, you know, I'm some sort of Overwatch expert. I hadn't played it in a super long time, and I even hadn't. Okay. I hadn't played it in a year, so I just go in basically playing it blind for the first time, even though it's obviously a lot of the characters are similar. The fact of the matter is that I didn't know what I was doing. You know, I wasn't in practice with it. I hadn't played it in a long time, so I'm playing it for the first time, and it's not like I'm practicing or playing it for long periods of time or every day. I'm just playing it once a week for a couple hours, and that's all I get. So you just go in and you're forced to do it. It's the same thing here. Like, I'm playing it for the first time ever. I mean, obviously it speaks for itself. A lot of these mechanics are universal, and there's a dime a dozen of these type of games, but still. How do you see your your actual things here, your abilities? I forget what Q actually does. What was that? What? Wait, what's happening? How are they even doing that? Are they hacking? You shouldn't be allowed to do that. Kill is spawning. Okay, I'll just go with somebody here. I don't know. Seems to encourage almost spawn camping in a way. What does Q do? I don't know what it does. Oh, it just makes you sort of throw shit faster. Okay. I mean, either this team is good or I can't step out for like a millisecond. That's why I actually like playing tanks in these games, which I might not ever move on to because every episode they'll give you free ones, like if it's every week or whatever. But it's basically super stupid because you know, you die so fast sometimes that you can't stand out in the open and stuff, and you're not a priority target for healing. Like, it's just not super fun. At least you get to do something. Or I was actually enjoying playing healers in Overwatch a little bit too, surprisingly. I'm that kind of guy, the guy who actually likes playing Mercy, let's say. I mean, you just die so fast, which is not any anomaly for this game in particular. It's just you can't really stand out like a clown. How did this game come out in 2016, though, people were saying? If this is unfortunate because I like this guy too. I love his little left click. It feels much better than like Genji's, at least I'm comparing it. Like, it's not just my fault, but I'm obviously bad. Like, there's no question about it. You gotta find like some other place to go. Insanity, you keep trying the same thing over and over and expect different results. Like, why do we keep going in the same spot? I always do some damage, but then I'm too slow and inaccurate to actually kill somebody. I mean, I'm trying to do it, man. Alright, got some kind of heal there. But yeah, this is where the ricochet is actually good because they're running away at such an angle that it would actually benefit you. We get the balls on this guy. Fuck. I mean, going behind enemy lines is nice, but you gotta sit on a purge point more than doing that. I'm throwing. See, I should have been able to carry the team against us, which kind of is true because they're just spawn camming the shit out of us. Or again, if I don't play so bad, at least there's something to that as well. Trying to kill this little Mercy lookalike clown, but they target me so instantly. Like, I'm not a priority target. Like, what is this? What the fuck? That's pretty stupid. Like, was that team just vastly better than ours, or what was the deal? Like, I know I'm not good, but... Soothsayer Celebration. Okay, let's just get out of here. Okay, so we'll try to go through the DPS champions, but I want them to last. The damage is there. Flank is there. Obviously, support, or I won't go through them. I'll have a good streak with them. Does that mean, like, how many games I've won with him? But it couldn't be. Or how many games I played. What is that, 5? I don't even know. Or it should show me like a track record of all my wins and stuff, right? Event pass, party boost. I like how it says that in Overwatch. Actually, it'll tell you like a career track record and stuff to show off. Not that I'm good. So this guy I didn't play as. Assault rifle, Sentinel issued military assault rifle deals 140 per 0.1 second. Which 2200 HP makes you seem kind of tanky yourself, but this doesn't feel like it. Wow, what a cool ability. Fun and interactive. You can aim down your iron sights. Like, some of the underwhelming abilities in Overwatch, like, wow. Did you know that Soldier 76 can sprint? Oh my god. Frag grenade, yeah, like Anthem. The Freelancer can throw a grenade. Meanwhile, the Colossus has a badass shield and all this kind of other crazy stuff. And awesome melee abilities. You punch the ground. And the Storm can float around and shoot lightning and all this kind of stuff. I get a grenade, as if anybody couldn't just have a grenade. 8 seconds, throw a cookable grenade that deals 750 when it explodes. Hustle, start hustling. Yeah, this guy is exactly like the Soldier 76. You can do iron sights and run. Wow. Start hustling, 65% movement speed while running, which, I mean, anybody can run here, though, anyway, but that's like the Fallout 3 effect, right? Where you can't sprint in the game, for better or for worse. Some shields would actually defend that. By the way, the best game ever made. Barrage, call down your Wrath in a series of artillery. Oh, I keep forgetting like that I even have an ult somehow. Call down your Wrath, a series of artillery barrages on your foe's head, dealing 1400 in an area per shell. And you should almost practice that, but I guess we'll use the matches as practice. So how would you even see whether you're playing ranked or not? Or maybe you can. You must be fit. Well, then why not block it out and make it seem like I can do it? Okay, so we'll do the next guy, Victor. We're going in order kind of the ones there because it kind of changes how they're set up here. It gets a little bit confusing, this guy. Right, like it's kind of by roll, but not exactly perfect. But yeah, just shoot your gun, use your iron sights, fully effective up to 100 units. Use a grenade. Like, this is the most beginner-friendly FPS COD player type of guy. Move faster, and then barrage. Very straightforward. There shouldn't be anything crazy, but the one big lacking for me then is just the aim. Yeah, that actually helps a lot. If they give you free, well, it's been a while. Maybe it's like once a month they do that, but if they give you free different heroes every week, then I don't have to actually work towards unlocking them. I can just kind of cheese it. But then I would have to unlock it if I'm on a good streak, because if this guy continues to the next episode and then he's not free anymore, let's say, then hypothetically, you wouldn't be able to, you still have to use him. Maybe I'd have to put it on hold to save for him, because that scenario could occur. So I've lost 3 champions so far in 2 episodes. But again, that maybe sounds good when it's really not. So Ruckus looks like some kind of d.va wannabe. Celebrant Soothsayer. All these fancy titles they have. Cardio, 3 second. Okay, I can't do anything. Alright. We'll just go, do what I gotta do. You should almost be able to fight on the mounts, too. Where's my lay on hands if I'm truly a paladin? How do you get on the mount again? I forget. Oh, just by sprinting. Which you can't do in the middle, then, of a match, right? Because you're sprinting all the time and it doesn't do anything. Like, I'm not saying we should be rolling over people, and I'm not saying I'm doing that good, but at least give us like a fair, even matchup. That one felt like totally lopsided. Like we had a 0% chance of winning, right? I have to become literally Shroud to give us a chance. You got to learn all the little flank points to do, but I'm not even playing a flank character. But like, you got to be up, and I love this sort of spawn camping degeneracy that we're doing. And it rewards you for that. His shot almost looks like a Soldier 76 type of thing too. Throw the grenade, do like that. Look at that laser aim, tracking aim, wrecking ball type of effect. I don't know what was even going on. I don't like being the target of them trying to kill me, because I don't feel like I should be a high priority target for 2 reasons. Number 1, I'm not a healer or a tank. Number 2, I'm not good at the game. So neither of those make me really a high priority target, but that's my ultimate bait plan that I try to... I don't know if that'll teleport you somewhere closer. We at least got off to a good start there. Often when I die, we make best progress after, so I always die for a good cause, kind of. Why is this guy so hard to kill? I mean, he's obviously the tank. At least if you get that grenade damage in, that can be good. Fuck. How'd he get behind us like that, dude? This guy actually looks awesome. Like, it's always an iteration on the same thing, right? Like, you're making the same genre of game, same type of characters, but there'll be these little iterations, and there'll be that one that really knocks it out of the park. As far as the core game concept, it does feel a little bit weird to have so many games like this. But I guess it's good. Competition is good, but it's like... there's something not so good about it. I don't know how to explain it. So where are they, and how did we end up in this spot? I mean, like, what is happening there? I can't do anything to him. But at least this one feels a little bit more evenly matched. In fact, just that spawn camp at the beginning seemed so good, but we couldn't do anything with it. That is my feeling on these games. Like, I wouldn't play them for a super long period of time, but that's why I love it. That's my stamp on multiplayer games as a format, which is actually amazing. The fact that it has to be some sort of permadeath format, because otherwise you could just play them forever, or I wouldn't want to necessarily do them. Dude, what a clown show ability, dude. A wrecking ball wannabe. Everybody's an Overwatch wannabe, which itself was a Team Fortress kind of thing, wannabe. Look how you just step out for like a fucking millisecond. Like, come on, man. Just finish him off, please. I always get them so low. What are my eliminations? Or where does it even say? 3 eliminations, best streak 1. We're losing pretty badly, though. Contesting. 4 minutes left. We end up just doing the same game mode over and over, because nobody's actually maybe trying to do the other ones, but it doesn't matter. That's almost unfair to put it like that. as far as the other game modes, you shouldn't be. Right, that guy's the Bastion, obviously. Haven't been this annoyed by a Bastion since Anthem, the planet that you're on or whatever, which wasn't even that annoying. I don't know how impressive that playthrough really was. It really wasn't, because it wasn't a true first playthrough Permadeath in the sense of the extra live aspect, but it is true that other than that, it was solo hard. Like, it's about as hard as it can possibly be. And it's not like I even go for headshots most of the time. I'm trying to go for somebody other than the tank, obviously. I don't have very good awareness from behind. Like, I don't have eyes in the back of my head, so I tend to not really even worry about that, but... Okay, now you can kind of blame me a little bit, because this one doesn't seem like a very difficult matchup, or at least it's more fair. That first one was totally nonsense. Like, where does it show all the other... Show me their stats so we can compare and do this. 1,000 credits, 3 eliminations, 6 stats. Yeah, why can't you see stuff like that? Like, what? It's too friendly of a game. They don't want you to flame people for it. But, like, yeah, you got to do that in League, at least. Turn off chat. Overwatch was never really that toxic, though. I think some of these games, everybody thinks they're, you know, like, oh, bro thinks he's Hikaru, bro thinks he's Shroud, thinks he's Faker. Everybody at a low rank or even unranked wants to talk shit and be all mean and stuff. What is that Wi-Fi icon at the bottom? Like I'm having trouble staying connected or something? But yeah, this was pretty fun. So I have to decide. Well, actually, I don't have to decide anything. I just have to make this series last. That's the whole point of it. Oh, my fucking God. Like, that's all you got to do. Just laser in on them, literally. Spam the grenade. I keep probably missing the chance to use the ult. Like, what is this, dude? I'm very bad at like just staying out in the open. You kind of have to dance around like a clown a bit. Or maybe you just have such a big advantage when you're pushing the payload, but you have to make sure you don't die because it wastes too much time. Right, like the best ability is availability. This fucking clown. He has too much health. Like, you can't even do anything to him when he's doing that. Or you know what ability I'm not using is the F at all. I've had enough of this guy. I've had enough. Like, you absolute clown. The bad reaction times that I'm showing, but gonna keep throwing the grenade. There's nobody even over there. This guy, man. Like, nobody cares. Like, he's pretty low, but you won't finish him off, huh? He's making himself such an easy target, but nobody ever goes for him. Probably because, oh, you know, he's so tanky, so what's the point? Don't AFK, dude. We're doing good. Now we'll have a tie-break chance if we push this. We're at 40%. I always just die so fast. Like, I feel like that's almost not even my fault, but people are just AFKing out, or I don't expect to be a high priority for healing, but it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? As a DPS, you shouldn't be a high priority for healing because you suck or whatever, but you also shouldn't be a high priority as oh my God. You also shouldn't be a high priority as a target either, right? They kind of go hand in hand. And if you are, then the two should sort of co-align. Okay, I should use my F more. I'm pretending like it doesn't even exist. Hard mode, no F allowed. Why are they paladins? Because they ride horses, but they're not using holy magic. They don't have holy light or lay on hands or bubble. That's what gave me so much confidence that I could succeed. There'll be a class like that too, but or a character like that. This Bastion dude has a crazy shield on. You shouldn't even really go for him. Okay, now we're gonna get rolled over for like as soon as they choose to go after you, you're just dead. One shot. Fun and interactive. Like, whatever you're supposed to do there. Again, F. I keep forgetting the F. But the point is that part I find kind of annoying, which is, again, why you play a tank. You'll be priority for heals and everything else, too. Okay, I'll just die. You turn your cursor to me, I'm dead. I'm just dead. They have this special ability that says that. Just click on their head, and they're dead. Okay, we have 33 seconds, so we're actually just going to lose on everybody and just forget about it. This one's kind of my fault, though. And that clown rolling around really triggered me. Look at him hiding in the bush. Very fitting, actually, League of Legends comparisons. Fuck. but it doesn't really give you stealth. That's actually a hilarious thing. The fire guy sitting in the bush. How ironic. Wait, what even happened? Okay, we took him out. I don't even know exactly how that ult worked, but kill an enemy after they had already killed you. Okay, that's a very bad start. Like, you must blame yourself at some point, because 5th anniversary. It's hard to believe it's been out that long. Why did people say 2016? It must have been 2018, but it could have been some early access or otherwise. Okay, so who's next? I don't want to burn through these too fast. You know what I mean? Ownership, then mastery level. This is just all. So, like, look how few we really have. So we lost on that. We lost, or maybe that's how many games you've played total. So, no, it's not even. We get to play as Willow of the Summer Court. Fire Blast of Fate energy that every 0.75 that deals 500 in an area. Okay, so it's an AoE. 500 in an area. Launch a Toxic Spore that deals 100 and infects enemies in the area, preventing them from being healed. There's like one ability that I just totally blank on and just never use it. Free rotation is going to be significant. So I almost have enough to unlock one hero, which let's let it be this one and let's go on a good streak. So we do this guy's like Teemo. Everybody has an equivalent comparison. You could trace it back far enough and say, oh, well, there was a character in Warcraft 3 Dota version like that, or even something before that. Throw an explosive seed that deals 400. Deals 400 and spawns 4 more damaging seeds in an area around it. So basically like a grenade, launch a toxic spore. They're all like area of effect stuff and damage over time. Quickly flutter your wings for F is typically the mobility one, I guess, then. And propel yourself forwards and upwards, which I don't really like that mechanic because I never liked it on Mercy or anything. Take to the skies and rain down, kind of like Pharah vibes, just the way they say it. Here we go. So we got to play her. I want one of these to last. Like, what? I thought that guy was going to be a Lucky Charm, the Genji, because I love the way his thing feels. Like, it's so much more easy to aim with it. Okay. So we've lost both games. I'll only go as far as the DPS, but that shouldn't even be a thought because we should definitely have this. Yeah, the free rotation makes it awesome for that. Because you won't just die in such a raw sense, I guess. This is the Willow chick. Thankfully, nobody's taken our heroes so far. But yeah, I got the super rare Kale skin when I played League, but then I don't really play League anymore. And Kale is basically dead to me because of what they did to her. The fact of, do you know what they did? The fact that they reversed how she works completely. I don't know why this game makes me think of League more than anything, because I'm thinking of Smite, and I haven't played Smite nearly enough either. Oh, I could do a round robin with that too. And I wouldn't even have to do a flex first episode to do it, but because I've obviously played it before a little bit. Yeah, this I genuinely never played. And I almost was looking at it kind of negatively just because, oh, it's just another one of those games like this, but it's good. I mean, they're all good too. That's the thing. Like, oversaturation is a separate issue than just quality, but it is good. Capture the objective, push the payload again. Play. Like, why is it always payload? Like, I'm just enabling all of them, so it's not like I have a preference. But a little bit of variety is fine. Or like I said, that might seem unfair because, like, oh, you go on a good streak in one mode, but then you lose because you play another mode, or like with one character, so you can't measure like, oh, I played better on Willow than on somebody else, but you're getting easier game modes or certain game modes. I kind of don't care. So we've lost how many heroes so far? We lost 4. So we lost 2 the first episode, the Bomb King and the Tiger guy who's like Pharaoh wannabe with the jetpack. Then this time we lost the guy, the Genji guy, and that people will know what I'm saying even too, what I mean. The Genji guy and the other guy. The other guy being the Soldier 76 guy. See, the names don't matter. Named for function, absolutist tendency. It doesn't tell you anything about it. Like, Willow kind of gives you some, it almost makes me think more of a healer, right? Support heal type character. It's Tyra Banks, full Thomas Blacks. What is that even from? I can't remember. It's some ad, I think. Somebody's playing with like a doll or something. That's Tyra Banks, fool. Okay, let's go to figure out what these abilities do again. Or how do you see them here? I always forget. Okay, F is like the flutter. Q is like the throw the spores. Right click is like put the spores in a particular area. I mean, just spam that. I always love these just wide radius ones. Like, just spam the left click and you'll hit somebody even if just by accident. Oh, yeah, remember to reload with your imaginary clip on the flower. Like, what exactly are you doing to it when you're doing that? Okay, let's just please win. This is important to me. I don't want to lose. So quickly, I don't want to lose at all. We don't even need to add anything to that statement. We got to capture this, but we got to see what these people are doing. Like, why can't we have a good team for once? Like, carry me instead of clowning me. Right click, just kind of spam it all in their general direction. And then if you're in trouble, just go ahead and fly. Go ahead, spam this. I don't even look for the cooldown. Just whenever it's up, just do it. I don't even know where they are. Problem with this is you'll be hitting like into the roof right if you miss. It won't hit the ground. Okay. At least that took a little bit longer, but maybe it's some sort of issue too with this format. Just the fact that, you know, they don't force you to have like a role queue, so there won't be healers, or I don't know the characters well enough, or even the icons for what is what, but who cares? Or like the flank one kind of confuses it a little bit. I'm trying to sprint to do the mount, but I can't do it now. That is pretty fast, good mobility. Some of them beat around the bush a little bit too much. Actually, this is a perfect character for trying to capture the point, because you can just spam that in its general vicinity, and they have an incentive not to stay there. I don't like all the stuff from above, though. That makes it a little bit tricky. Objective captured. We just got to hold on to it. Want to offer promotion? Yeah, I don't need the promotion because I got your message. That's all the clicks I need for the day. Okay, now will I get healed? But I need somebody, a DPS who can like heal myself. That was a good grenade. I'll give it to you there. That was the Victor. That was why I liked Bastion. Not because, oh, he's a stand in one place and just, you know, do the stupid whatever, the cannon thing. I would almost not even use that much, except when it was really optimal. I would do it more in a general sense, like, for example, the fact of I would do the run and gun style with him and sort of spray. Why does it seem like everybody's so squishy? Like, whatever I could have done there was still very limited. I used my mobility. I'm not using my mobility, and I'm not using my ult necessarily enough. I forget now even what the ult does, but we'll find out. I always love that. Like, people might think I'm stupid or whatever, but like I love to keep myself in the dark. So basically, it doesn't matter if you get stuck or don't know things or whatever, because I almost just prefer, you know, to go in blind or whatever the case may be. So it's kind of a good thing in a way. That's part of the enjoyment, but I know people don't like to do that. They especially don't like to do it in a multiplayer sort of context. Okay, there you should have used F to get at it. I mean, these teams are just kind of making me mad, but like, just give me one. Give me some momentum, because I had some momentum going into this with the one guy. I'd won like 2 or 3 in a row, and oh my god. I don't know how you mount. I just don't know. I think it's supposed to be a shift, but it doesn't work. You're just not supposed to get off the mount like a clown. Or just use my stupid wings. That one really doesn't beat around the bush. The power of the sun in the palm of our hands, and we're still losing. But then the sun loses to the water. All he has to do is take it underwater. Doc Ock. There's somebody clowning around back there. Very conspicuous. Nobody seems to care to do anything about them. Now you can use E to do a big push, or to recover from some sort of perceptible loss. Push successful. He only did 2 out of 4 though. All right, so that's good. I forget what the other 2 are. Like, just like 2 points by like stopping them from doing it, or not a good game though. It's like GR, a good round. So now we have the ult in our back pocket. There's all these like other menus, like if you do F1, great healing. If you do F1, then basically it would show you like what everything does. So Yeah, I like this character. In fact, I like almost every character so far, even though that guy was stupid. Victor is just like a Soldier 76. I love how that can pass off as an archetype in this day and age. Yeah, it's a character that can shoot a gun and use iron sights and sprint. Like even Soldier 76's archetype. Like, it's not bad, and in the context of a game with so many fresh characters and just the general genre, it's good, but you'd almost try to push past here a bit, but... There's somebody clowning up on this side. The base shot doesn't seem to do that much, or I'm not really landing it super well. I'm focusing all my stuff on him. That's good. General aim. I mean, all these AoEs. You could have a team of 5 people with AoEs who all have bad aim. We don't even need to do the all yet, but I probably should do it. And like I said, I forgot what it even does. So I like this because you can hold down a spot. This is the perfect game mode actually to do this. If you're staying generally in one spot. We have 3 out of 4. Again, not saying this team is that great. It's hard to even measure how good the team is because of the simple fact that you don't have the ability to, you don't have the ability to seemingly look at that as much as you would in other games. Or you really can't sprint on some of these anyway. He has the ability to sprint and the ability to make the sprint go faster, too. I want to do the alt almost just to try it, so if we get a big group coming at us, they tend to stay spread out, though, sometimes. Which is often what our teams do, which is often why we lose. I don't know what that even does, but I still don't even know. You just fly around like crazy and just do it. Now here I don't seem like as much of a target necessarily. Or they're just standing still. That person's as almost immobile and terrible as me. Even as you go to dodge, you're still getting hit by something. Wow, look at this, dude. Yeah, this is a pretty cool character. I like the damage over time stuff too. Like, they won't get damaged by me hitting them constantly, but just by me having my aura and stuff around them. Okay, good. That was a pretty clean sweep. That should almost give you an extra life if you... I don't know. There was some criteria where I said that too. Or like every 10 games you win in a row. But if you do that, if you win like 10 games in a row, then obviously you're doing so good anyway. So it doesn't really matter. But you've been commended. I don't think I was anything special. But again, that team was at least something. It was a real team. They just... Apparently the healing was good. That guy was saying what to... whatever. The tank, I guess, was praising it. It didn't seem like I was getting dropped so easily, but also... Yeah, like, there's nothing about the character that would make you more tanky. I had the same amount of health, so everything's the same. I'm just a flower, DPS class. But, basically, that's quite the picture for Nyx. Are they trying to rip off Lilith now? They'll make a raid boss equivalent. Go ahead, do Willow. The reason why I didn't want to do this format on Saturday, this was meant for Friday, like after my hard mode series, where it's going to be some sort of multiplayer Gauntlet experience. I can't speak. Experience. The reason why is because now on Saturday I play stuff I haven't played, so it'll normally be a multiplayer type game anyway, like we just played Hunt Showdown. So like, that's not exactly obviously the same as this, but we might end up playing too many games that are similar to what we're doing in the secondary format anyway, but this will be my format for the next several weeks at least. In fact, forever, because I'll never lose. Payload, Greenwood Outpost. Team takes turn pushing the payload. I mean, she'd be good in that circumstance too, but the more holding down just the hub is sort of more important. He's like, Victor, deal direct damage that can be reduced by items like Haven. Or yeah, like, I'm not going to worry about the item aspect either. Hitting an enemy with your weapon shots increases the damage they take from weapon shots by 80, stacking up to 3 times. Dead zone damage is increased by 650. Which I assume is some of the AoE stuff. Or is that maybe one of the names of the abilities? I can't remember how you see the loadout of what the things say. So the E makes you like kind of fly around. I should have read it again. It makes you fly around and basically... It's probably like the Mercy one. Like, oh, everything goes up. Except you don't have to worry about the healing part. You could totally pass this character off as a healer. Like, that could be a trick question. Guess based on their appearance. Overwatch Pro guesses, not that I'm at all like that, but Overwatch Pro guesses what what role each character is based on their appearance. I would guess a healer for this one. It even has like the Mercy Wing, you know, potential, or at least you would think it's a support that has some healing capability within them too. As in, like, you know, one of those, I forget, even Sombra type or something. What's happening? We still got him there. I mean, this is one of those, like, just click on their head type of games, but we should try to deal with this guy a little bit. Okay. Got to use either the wings there or just play a little more defensively, because it's better to stave off and leave combat for a few seconds than to die and have to wait and then come back. And, you know, you should try to never die, but... But yeah, you're not allowed to play with friends necessarily, although I almost did that with Gerardo in Overwatch, and I wouldn't have minded doing it, but basically I'm following him like he knows what he's doing. Or you're not allowed to play with the same groups necessarily over and over unless it happens dynamically. Like, that's always important with these sort of multiplayer challenges, like even chess. You're not allowed to get raiding against friends, otherwise that would make it way too easy within the context of what you're trying to do. What the fuck? Oh, I thought that was an ally for a second. These games are sometimes so fun to watch too. Like, there's just so much crazy stuff going on. I don't know if this had any sort of esports. I think we talked about that last time. I stupidly said something about Tyler 1, like, oh, imagine playing a game so long and, you know, any of these type of games, because I just never really do that. But, and not being like a pro at it or something, that's always the standard. Like, imagine me playing chess and not being a pro, but I will be. That's the thing. This takes a little bit of time. Wait, this whole thing of stuff, okay, of stuff behind me really does throw me off. So this one's not going too good. We could always redeem ourselves in the next round, but we have 5 minutes to kill here. And I got to figure out a little bit how to use the ult, because I don't know still exactly what it does. It seems to just make you maybe Super Saiyan mode. It doesn't seem to do like a single attack. Anything that sort of buffs you, like, oh, you know, the Torbjorn thing that just makes you stronger, and it's so spammable that it's on like half the time. So there's so many things that you end up just use it because it's up kind of a thing. I mean, outplayed, I guess, but why do I sometimes feel so goddamn squishy with that whopping 2200 health value? Or again, I'm never a target for healing. I guess the last game maybe I didn't feel that bad because the healing was actually good. Sometimes I feel like I'm getting healed by something other than the player. Like, your health just goes up on its own to a certain extent, but or in fact, I have even more than 2200. I don't know how, though. Okay, we got to stop them here at least. That's one thing I just never care to do is... Come on, finish him off. When the shield's gone, he won't expect it. Oh, how you let him get away, man. That's the thing that triggers me the most. I'm the worst player ever in existence, but I'm getting them low, right? Making the right decision, and then they just don't do anything. They just let them get away. Like, oh, they're too scared to go in. Now, I'm not going to get any kind of healing ever in my life. 70%, we're obviously going to lose. Where is it? I don't even know what's happening. So you have 3 minutes to kill. I do have the ult available. Where'd they go? This is kind of spooky now. I got jump scared in Hun Showdown actually a couple times by like the spider and stuff. Even though you know it's there and everything, just the way it moves is so erratic. I don't know what it even does. User ult, just go in and die. I'll have to read it again. I can't figure out in the middle of combat. But see, I always love that pressure. Like, yeah, you go in something blind and you have to figure out on the spot, whether it be a first playthrough, permadeath, or something of the sort. Hard game, whatever. Just like the Yu-Gi-Oh style that I always make fun of. Oh no, what does that card do? Says the best duelist ever, the Pharaoh himself, in the middle of a high-stakes duel against some big villain or something. That shield didn't actually seem that bad to get rid of the last time, but... Yeah, of course. They're super low, but you can never... Takes me from 100 to 0 where they're at 20%. It's not even like an aim issue as much. Oh shit, he's doing the deflection of like Genji too. He seems to be much more able to do it. Like, you can just block everything. Genji, you have to do it for like a certain period of time, but I'm almost shoot where I think they're gonna go. The anti-stormtrooper technique. Can we just stop them? The time's getting a little bit close, and we're not gonna have the ult necessarily to save us. You do a little trickle damage. I shouldn't try to do too much though with the left click, right? We can do a little bit like this is fine. You try to pop the shield a little bit. Try to get them, but you won't. You got the little cannon thing. Okay. It just goes from 100 to 0 too fast. That's the problem with some of these games. It's not just this game, but it's just sometimes you got to play a little bit smarter, obviously, but we got a minute left. We at least have a chance to stop it, but then we still have to deliver it too. Yeah, aim only has so much impact in these kind of games. I got to use that more too. Oh, come on. Don't let them deliver it now. It's so tight. Or I just like let one person get me, and I don't do that stupid strafe thing left and right as much. But you can't do it as much in this game. Like, your movement is good, but it's a little more stiff, which I like. Or like Valorant is very stiff. So dodging abilities or anything is kind of more difficult. I barely even played it, but it's basically Overwatch meets Counter-Strike. At least that's what it's trying to be, which is fine. I mean, maybe it's a little bit too blatant with how it goes for that, but my shots are almost just guesswork whether I'm going to be able to try to hit something or not. Then okay, so we survive. At least they don't get all the way, but now it becomes a contest of whether we can beat their count. That one started off pretty disappointing, but that still could be a winning number. Yeah, that first team somehow just seemed ridiculous. We want to hang on to Willow, get a good streak going, and then we'll look back and see, like, wow, what was the longest streak? 20 games, 25 games with one of these. But that requires you actually be a little bit good and have some success level, which I didn't have at all in Overwatch, and just somehow that almost discouraged me. That's why that was on Friday. That was the Friday slot that I was talking about. But then I was so discouraged and annoyed by that one that I needed a break. So I'm like, okay, let me do like a card game instead. And I was going to do some sort of permadeath format with that too. But then I decided, okay, we'll do it a little bit longer scale and just do it like a normal series maybe. And then, so now I don't want to stall out too long because I do want to play games like this in some regular format. It's not never something I would do like every day and as my main thing, but what exactly are we trying to do here? Okay, just get out of there. This clown. I can't take people 1v1 is pretty clear, but that's maybe sometimes the fun. Like, a lot of your stuff is AoE and damage over time, so you shouldn't really try to do that anyway. Whereas that Soldier 76 Victor clown should be maybe more suited to that sort of playstyle. Like, I can't even see what's happening. It even lagged a little bit to try to help me with that. Yeah, I can just always be a 5 elimination, 10 deaths. I don't even really care about deaths, but like I said, it wastes a little bit of time, but this is pretty fast paced. That's what the mount is so good for. It renders death redundant, even more so than it might already be. Come on, just finish them off. Damage over time will finish them off, but it won't. Imagine not finishing that person off. I can't even tell whether we did or not. Yeah, that's good. You have a little bit of area effect capability with that. I just assume somebody's going to hit me from behind, but we actually did fine. So we just have to get through a little bit farther. See, and then I'll fall in love with one of these characters, not just because I like it and it's good, but because you do have that sort of streak, so it creates a sort of attachment for you, too. Based on that. You got to get some kind of unique flanking position from here, but they're kind of all over it. Anti-flank meets flank. Okay, this guy's a little bit annoying. He knows how to use the shield. I used my wings to get away, but I actually meant to do it the other way. Okay, you're not gonna beat her like that necessarily. Okay. Just got my number. When death comes for you, there is no escape. Ha ha ha. It should be some kind of voice line. Okay, we still win. Yeah, I always win when I'm dead. That kind of shows you how much I had to do with it. For some of the voice lines in League were actually badass, like Aatrox had some amazing dark and pretty badass lines. I can't remember exactly, but okay, so that wasn't too bad. So that's a 2-win streak with Willow. Let's just try to keep her going the rest of the episode, which I don't know how long it'll go on for, but that's quite the skin for this guy. It'll come with its own musical soundtrack that'll annoy everybody in the course of the game. Yeah, the point is that I always like to display this format as something I've always enjoyed doing in multiplayer games, and it kind of suits me. But the best way to show it is not to suck and to actually go on some good streaks with it. But there's that presumption, I guess, oh, you should be good at this game that you're playing for the first time, which is true. And I hold that standard, and that's what I always like to do. So I'll sort of play a rigged game that's very unfair, and the circumstances are loaded against me, but I won't complain about it, or oftentimes I won't even mention it, and I'll just hold myself to still the same standard. So you should do this thing that realistically nobody would even try to do, but you should still be able to do it. Unironically, that's the absolutist mindset. Here's the thing. Okay, damn, dead zone is good. So that sort of augments your abilities. So I'm not really worried about those talents as much. I'm not worried about the shop. Like, let's just actually focus on the gameplay, but they are there, and I'm sure there's a certain amount of metagaming you can do with that. But yeah, League should have that feature too, just like auto buy stuff, because you know, everybody just ends up doing the same thing anyway, but because I'm the type of person who loves to theory craft and just do random stuff, or just do it for fun and immersion and committing to a certain idea. But I don't know, you know, in any sense. Like, that's what I mean too. Like, you could be playing unranked, but oh, you got the suboptimal build. Why would you play that? You suck. You don't know the game. It's like, it's unranked. It's not even gold. It's not even silver. Not even bronze. Not, like, no. But in unranked, you have to play the meta. In 1100 chess, you have to play opening theory and the Karo Khan and all this kind of stuff. You can't just play the game at that level. We're not talking about professional players. We're not talking about anybody who's good or anything crazy. We're talking about low-rated entry-level trash. I was mid-fight, man. We're talking about low-rated entry-level stuff, but even then you can't theory craft and have fun. People will still copy it. So that's the trickle-down effect of competitive stuff. When something is so competitive at the high level, people will try to treat it that way at the bottom, but it's not really that fun. Just play it like a normal game. And you play to win the game, obviously, the old Herm Edwards quote, but it doesn't mean you have to do it in such an insular, contrived way and just do it in like a robotic fashion, basically. Yes, I'll die in literally fucking 0.5 seconds the way sometimes this goes. Or sometimes I fly into them when I'm trying to fly away. For some reason, I thought you could back up with it, basically. Indiana PvP, or like they have all these esport events for like colleges, right? You get a college scholarship for Overwatch or something. I haven't heard a single thing about Overwatch 2 esports or anything. Like, I don't know if they even have them or what. Not that I really care, but it's just kind of funny to see. Like, it was a very short-lived thing. All right, 48, 49%. It's not the end of the world, but it's weird. Okay, it's very hard to do anything there, basically. As long as we get some of the AoE damage in, which it doesn't really measure your damage a ton, but I assume it's doing the meta optimal stuff anyway within the context of Chick is a little bit too melee focused to be. Yeah, like, how would you get away with surviving then when you already have so much trouble here? You're almost dead, or actually dead. What is this? Oh, that almost looked like somebody's ult that made them into the, like... Okay, so we have the ult incoming. I have 9 HP. Then I'll out-range my healer, or just nobody's gonna heal me. That's fine. And so much of it comes down to the healer. So maybe I'll have my best streak as a healer because I'm actually willing to do something. You got like a Mercy type player who's gonna try to shoot with their gun. It's almost a demerit. Like, oh, you do the most damage as Mercy, but you don't want to do damage as Mercy, so that shows you're playing it actually the wrong way. Yeah, what exactly happened there? But I still get out of there. All right, so they're just gonna win the game, and I'm gonna lose this chick. And that's the real sort of immersive element. Like, you never get her back, or I'll have to wait 6 whole months to play as this character again, or even to play this game again if it goes, you know, down that way. And we can still match them 1 for 1, but it will be difficult. Sometimes it's easier to push than it is to defend, but not necessarily. Or it depends on team comp, and I keep like just not using my ult overall. This is very fun though, but see, I have to do it in sort of either short sessions, or I have to do it in some sort of sense of finality as a structured series. So I do love that whole idea, basically, which is that's sort of a patented format of mine. I'm not sure that too many people have done stuff like that in the past or do it as a regular basis. And that in the first playthrough permadeath stuff in general, like that could be for a single player game or for anything. That's good. Okay, just whenever you think you're gonna take damage, just fly the heck away. He's a little bit tankier. Get him low, always get him low, but you never that really triggers me, man. What? Like, that's how you know it's like not teamwork and people don't know what they're doing. You get somebody to like 1 HP and you got like so many people around. Like, don't worry about whatever you're doing. Just finish that one person off and then do what you're doing. Because now he'll go back, he'll heal up all the way, all this kind of clown behavior. Damn, that did quite a lot. Speaking of 100 to 0 type dynamics. Okay, go ahead, put this here, fly the fuck away. The mobility in these games is sometimes fantastic. That's one of the most fun things about it, actually. Other than this, we just spam our basic abilities whenever we have them. Even if it's against the wall, it just means that you know they can't come through at that point. You don't want to expose yourself to that too much. But what does this exactly even do? I don't get it. I still don't even know what it does. I got to read it one of these times, but we got to win to earn that privilege. Now, I'm low, but they don't finish me off. Biggest mistake of their lives. And then somebody was low in there, but I'm sure they didn't kill them. No, nobody would heal me for like an hour. Like, what is this, dude? So we're pushing. We have only a minute. Wait, how did the time go that fast? Only have a minute left. Okay, we lose. Just forget it. 5 eliminations, 6 deaths, 1 solo kills. Feels like I'm getting more solo kills, but I guess some of them are just AoE. Or like that means you take them 100 to 0. It doesn't mean that you just get the credit for the kill, basically. Man, I never blame the team-based aspect of it either. Just because that's not, you know, that's part of the point. Like, you'll get carried sometimes, you'll get punished sometimes, but yeah, we failed on on both counts basically here. I do like this character a lot, but it's just unfortunate. I can't do anything. Maybe this chick and Bomb King were my 2 favorites. Even the Genji one I liked a little bit just because of his hitbox there, but do a Paladins character tier list based on this limited experience, not based on how good they are, I'm sure, competitively and stuff. Why did I have like 2300 health there briefly? It must have been some piece of gear. Yeah, like it'd be mathematically impossible to win now, so why does it even let you bother trying? Right, like what could you do with 8 seconds left to get the thing all the way across? It should just end it as soon as it knows. Like mathematically, you can't get the payload there with the amount of time left and the percentage that you have and have to get. Nice heals, maybe. People always seem to say that, no matter what, whether you win or lose. Now we have our last DPS class, so this will be the last chance. So we had like only a 2-game win streak here, 0 game streak here. We had like a 2 or 3 game streak here, but obviously not today. We're burning through these pretty fast. Auto rifle, a fast firing automatic rifle that deals 115 every 0.09 seconds. Nade launcher, right click, fire a grenade that explodes on impact, doing 700. And then firebomb, Q, hurl an incendiary device, leaving a pool of fire on impact that deals 9% of maximum health. as damage over 0.6 seconds. Then the fire refreshes this damage effect. And then Hunter's Mark. We're not allowed to use that. We're not allowed to use range. Our Hunter playthrough. Wow. Mark your prey to gain vision and 15% increase weapon damage against them. As if somebody's sneaking around, I guess you should be sort of playing like that. 2,400 instead of 22. Enhance your rate of fire by 40% and your speed while no longer consuming ammo. And increase your speed while no longer consuming ammo. Okay, so that's just like a buff. Let's see, what did hers actually do? That's just out of curiosity. And rain down Fey Vengeance. Well, it didn't. Maybe you had to obviously fly properly. I would just kind of float around, but it seemed to be so fast. It happened so fast I couldn't even really tell, and I didn't really know what it was doing. Okay, so let's give it a shot. We'll go until we lose as this chick, which I shouldn't lose, though, is the point. This will be... So let's just recap which ones I did, right? The whole experience so far. We won like maybe 2 or 3 games on Bomb King. Then we won 0 games on Drogoz, the Farah chick. Then we won maybe 2 or 3 games on Tiberius. And then we lost. That carries over into today. Then I won 0 here, and I won like 2 on Willow. So I mean, collectively between these, like, they're not all the total busts, but I just want one like this 10 games. Out of all these, just give me one that's 10 or 15 that we get a truly good streak. And you might think, oh, that's unlikely or impossible, but it's kind of just like, it doesn't have to even do with me. I don't have to be playing that good, right? You just have to do well enough to make it work. So the next chick, I don't know why I'm going in order of the roles necessarily, but it's kind of a good way to do it. In fact, I did do that in Overwatch too, unless I unlock something later on. I'm not going to buy any. Or you know what? You should almost be able to buy them to revive them and give yourself one more chance. But no, that doesn't even make sense though, because some of these you already just have, period. Yeah, we'll do Tyra. It's Tyra Banks, fool. Okay, the final showdown. We either go for a ton, not Cassie. We either go with this for better or for worse. Not really the most exciting abilities either, like compared to the Victor guy. Yeah, if I had to rank them so far, Victor and this chick maybe at the bottom just at the outset. Maybe it'll be more fun in practice, but I love the Bomb guy and I love Willow and I like the Tiger guy. The Farah guy was okay. It's not even a question of how well we did with them. Like, I suck with all of them or whatever. I didn't win too many. But that nail polish seems redundant because you already have the red on your claws there. Nobody will even be able to see it. You're not even wearing the claw. I don't get that. It's like on her chest. Wait, what happened? Oh, it takes a second. Okay, so we have 30k, which means we could actually buy. Okay, one person leaves, but that doesn't mean that you should. Player failed to join. It shouldn't reset the whole thing. Midnight Masquerade. There's just so many of these games out there that are pretty good in a lot of ways. It's just, it's sort of content oversaturation, right? Genre oversaturation. It's like, it used to be, oh, there's too many shooters out there today, but now it's more than, wait, that's not even flank. Or no, it's just showing whatever. Like her expression there. Like, it used to be, oh, there's too many shooter games today. Now it's not only are there too many shooters, but there's too many team-based, ability-based shooters, like specifically class-based shooters where even, you know, Rainbow Six Siege has like the sledge guy and all these different classes that you're playing as or whatever. It's just becoming sort of so oversaturated. It's almost anticlimactic in a way. Like, okay, I'm playing that game Hunt Showdown and it's like killing the monsters and stuff is pretty fun. The spider and whatever else, the butcher guy, that aspect is fun and almost fresh and it would be fun to play in a single player context. But no, what does it devolve into? On the way to killing the beast, you get killed by a player with a gun in normal FPS combat. Like, it's not a question of even, oh, I just suck and you shouldn't have died, but that's true. But the point is, like, how many games do you need to have that experience in? Like, give us something different. Yes, standard face-to-face FPS combat is not the only thing that exists in the world. Like, in fact, it's one of the most boring things because it does exist in the world in a vague sense, obviously more serious context, but like, give us just more of the fantastical stuff, which is, again, what this genre has sort of flirted with, which is why I sort of reject the notion of the Valorant stuff, because it has abilities, but the abilities aren't the emphasis. I like how these games embrace it more. This is about the same as Overwatch in that respect. Like, it's more about the abilities than the gunplay, at least. So that is like the right-click grenade, whatever. I don't know how often it resets. Like we had like 3 of them. So now 1, 2. Yeah, the left click is just a shot. Right click is the bomb. Q is a bomb. F is something else I forgot. F is usually mobility. And then the alt is just like a buff. Yeah, it really does flirt with the idea of spawn camping at the beginning. I forgot kind of what the F did. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the AoE stuff that you're going to get to go here. Oh, you like mark them. So now you'll be able to see them the rest of the time. So you should always like mark the healer. Or like mark the person that you want them to focus fire, because you're going to be in a position where you get them low, and so it'll get them to actually pay attention. Okay, already kind of a bad start. Q is there, right click is there. That's kind of a short range grenade, but I love that. You know what that is? That's the Half-Life 2 thing that you would always do. You would be spraying the Combine, and then you would basically shoot one of those out too as a very quick on-demand grenade. That's one of the most satisfying things to do. It's just very smooth, and I love that. Gordon Freeman wannabe instead of an Overwatch wannabe thing. Okay. I mean, we're getting spawn camped already. We could potentially do the same thing to them, but it's unlikely to happen this well. Like, let's at least get a little bit into there. Like, we're just spraying at them, but it just doesn't matter. And so the F you should always do to whoever you're attacking anyway, but I almost think of it like, oh, you should do it just to show the position. Are we really going to get shut out, dude? I'm fucking mad. Like, what the heck, man? These people aren't that good or anything like that. This should be an issue. We're not even going to get to do anything. Just can't finish anybody off. Like, we get them low. Okay, I at least did that. And now that'll change the whole tide of the battle. Like we split damage too much. That's why the mark is almost good, just to get them to focus and pay attention. Like, oh, this person's a high priority target. 611 there is pretty good. Go ahead, go through here. We have time, but it's just not going very well. Or as soon as you kill somebody, the whole thing falls apart because they no longer have the heals that they're expecting or the support in other ways that they're expecting. Nice little jump back. Doesn't really matter. Okay, we got to push hard. Push hard. Wow, look at this fucking... Just stand in a face of 5 people and it's fine. Like, that's the definition of a tank, I guess, in these games. But, okay, we did well. Pushed it a little bit, but they'll just get hard stuck now. 1-to-1 KD ratio. It just makes it feel so... That's also why I don't like multiplayer games. Actually, it makes death not really feel like a big deal. Because it's just... You know, it becomes such a commonplace thing. Which, of course, is never true with me, just in general philosophy. I don't know what's going on. Can't do anything for like an hour, okay. It's always an interesting dichotomy. Like, the tank should never be a high priority target, but you kind of can't help it at times, and so it's like... You know it's going to be impossible to basically kill them, or now we're getting pushed back, too. Yeah, we're doing pretty good there. We almost killed 2 people. I wish you could see all their stats. I don't know how you actually can. I feel like I'm almost carrying here because nobody's evidently doing anything at all, ever. Like, we're almost soloing her, but doesn't matter. She still won't die. Just please push ahead a little bit, dude. Or does my thing damage my team too? And no, it must be them. They wouldn't do that to you. Friendly fire, literally, in a game like this would be a nightmare. We still have 3 minutes, but we have to do this smart. They're going to come from somewhere we don't expect. And so... Don't get too excited. We have the E, which is going to be a big buff. My aim is not so good that you can even do too much with that. Okay, just wait. Don't really have the greatest mobility here, so that almost helped me if that was an enemy who did that. We tried to trap you from behind, by which I mean I give you a block to hide behind. Ironic. Okay, we're gonna get completely destroyed here. Okay, just back off. You're not gonna get healed. Like I don't like to blame things, but this is just stupid, man. Or maybe we'll be able to shut them out too, but like we're stuck at like 2% in the base getting camped. Like what am I supposed to do? Can't do anything with her. Too strong. Okay, just get like one shot by that guy. Yeah, we're playing against actual professional players, just taking a break from playing ranked. You probably have a better chance in ranked, or maybe the team comps get all messed up. That's part of the problem. You should always do the F first. I always wait too long to do it. We're going to have to handle with the stick 38%, which is not going to be enough. Like, the fact of what side you're on isn't going to make that big of a difference anyway. At least get the little fire on them. If you look at the damage done, I probably have done almost the most of anybody, but doesn't mean you're getting necessarily kills. But yeah, I don't like the lack of feedback it actually gives you on a lot of stuff. Okay, that wasn't a very good throw. Kind of face roll it, but it just doesn't work. That's why you got to take the good with the bad. We will still get another chance here, but it's just discouraging. There's not much I can do, man. We're all like respawning at different times, so you have to go in together. You can't just let them farm you like that. Getting spawn camped is fun, and it is interesting how these games get away with not really seeming to discourage it all that much. Okay. There is that overall principle. I just always be attacking because you will hit something almost by accident, and you do have infinite ammo, so why even bother doing it? Can we hold them below 38%? And I think that's virtually impossible to do. I'm actually quite impressed that they were even able to do that. Why do we keep floating around like that? I mean, we better go to it, though, and try to spawn trap them. You have to do this thing called actually killing the enemies and actually not dying. And we're clearly not capable of doing that, so we may as well just give up now. Like, I don't mind, okay, teams are bad or whatever, but why is it so lopsided? Like, why do they seem so good and we're so bad? We should both be bad or whatever. It should even out. Why do they seem like they're just gods here and just they know what they're doing and they have synergy and team composition and chemistry and like, what is it? It's just a random unranked game. Not the payload, we're just dead already. Like, we're not pushing it adequately to spawn trap them. We're not going to focus fire. We're not going to do anything. That's the biggest problem, actually. It's hard to organize it like that. Like, they're already in this spot respawn going to get to 38%. They're already there. It's already over. Okay. Not really the most interesting champion anyway, but I do like all these AoEs, and I like her getup more than anything else. Yeah, you can't do it. Yeah, I like that little Half-Life 2 reference. Not that no game has ever had that before besides that, but just the way you do it so quickly is very... you can be like a deer in the headlights and it'll hit them before they even do anything to you. It was very helpful in my Permadeath hard mode playthrough of Half-Life 2, which was one of the most nightmarish ones I've ever done because it can go... It's like almost trial and error. You just walk into a room and you're already getting screwed. Okay. The Tyra is gone, so let's just look forward to what we can see next time. I'm really disappointed. Even that Willow was so awesome. I wish I could have kept that one going. I don't even think I played that bad on some of these, but again, you're playing at such a low rank that you can't really use that as an excuse. Like, I wouldn't use the team as an excuse anyway, so now we lose there. So basically next time, but see, next time we could do more damage classes because there'll be different ones in the rotation. I mean, there are certainly a lot of them. How many are there total? Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 1, 2, 3, 4, so 8, 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 times 8, like 56, 57, 58. So that's not bad, but we've already exhausted. How many have we exhausted now? Because we did 4 today alone, but we had done 2 before, so 6. So it should last at least a number of episodes, because this will be probably just as short of an episode as the last one. But yeah, let me rank them maybe more properly here. So my favorite was probably the Bomb King. I love his AoEs and over-the-top nature in that regard. Then my second favorite was probably Willow. Also good AoEs, damage over time, good mobility, even a cool aesthetic. Then probably third would be the Genji guy, just because I like his blade attack a lot better than Genji's, and it's a lot more, the thrown shuriken, I mean. That's just a lot more intuitive, and it felt like I was landing hits a lot more. Hitbox, and almost praising it for just being more handholdy and more just easier, I guess. It really felt more forgiving. The fact that the ricochets and stuff. And then beyond that, the guy with the jetpack was okay. These two were kind of boring in effect. This guy was kind of middle of the road, and then the top tier would be like 3, 2, and then 1. Or some of them are even 15, so it doesn't really matter. But there's no sense buying any until I go on a really good streak. Like if you were to, if I went on a good streak with her, and then I come in next time and I don't have her on the free rotation anymore, I would have to buy her because, in that case, I wouldn't mind holding it off. Like, okay, fine, I can play as somebody else and come back to her just because I can't afford it. But in theory, that should be how the format works.